Hello, this is the Zero Pal Jimmy Pablo doing another talking discussion, episode 26. And to this talking discussion episode, I will be talking about it's best to keep politics out of gaming, including the gaming industries involved also within the gaming community. And the only reason why I'm actually talking about this discussion is because over the past months, even last year, things were getting really serious with formerly known as DEI, implementing itself within gaming and forcing its ideological theories and all its obsession over equity into its gaming population, and it's been really getting a bunch of backlash among a lot of gamers out there. So before I go further than this game that I'll be showing to you, I'll be playing while I'm talking about this, is Marvel's Arrivals. Just so that way you have something to look into while we talk about this topic. It matters. Let's start off by saying this is exactly why it's important that if whatever political party with their agendas and their inspiration is, it's very important to ensure that we cannot be having politics in gaming. And the only reason why I'm actually saying this, that before you get offended, before you tell me I'm a perpetrator, before you tell me any kind of names, calling me by names, you have to listen me out carefully, because this is very serious. People can think rather it's some sort of message. People can think that maybe it's because they want to express themselves and know that their equity of their diversity matters to the gamers. But here's the problem when we come to personal spaces. Us as gamers go through a lot of personal spaces, a lot of, having our own time to just get out of the world, get out of drama, and just go into something that we can just relax and enjoy ourselves, while we just enjoy something to connect within a digital game that keeps us, motivated to ensure we can, rather we're streaming on it, rather we're making money out of it, or rather just to take some time off from all that hard, stress out society that we were always going into and trying to keep our day task on and on, or during our days of making money to maybe going through studies and just want to take a break for a bit. The only reason why I'm actually saying this is because ever since the Democrat Party decided to put their hands in the cookie jar with the atrocity USAID, that really had a large impact when they started hiring journalists within Gamersgate. And this was like being funded within extra programs to create these journalists to attack gamers and force, not only that they had these journals attacking on gamers, but they were forcing more rhetoric to get gaming into the government's loyal into politics, to try to force DEI in these gamings. And you look how that turned out. This is why it's important that whatever party you're in, when you start messing with the gaming industry, when you start messing with the area that should not be messed with, there is some huge amount of backlash that starts happening within this society, rather if it's in a gaming community or what's in a community that's within general. Because a lot of individuals hate the fact that they don't like the reversal of the DI situation. But they also have to understand there is a lot of individuals who are young, who don't know, just want to relax, enjoy the game, and they hate this stuff. And you could speak for many other individuals who have their rights, but you also have to speak up for gamers who have their rights, and they feel that the child's safety matters to them, their privacy matters to them, freedom of speech and freedom of wanting to have regular policy and have good looking skins, good looking and characters matters to them. And that's what leads to the decline of sales, in which it end up happening in 2024. We've seen a massive load of decrease in sales, while gaming companies were losing a lot of profits that they were forced to roll back. They just couldn't abide to this DI policies anymore. And that's the point why it's important how much backlash it could do if you force individuals to force them to learn this rhetoric, the diversity into the system that should not be placed in there. Because a lot of individuals, I heard from them now that DI has been rolling a lot of back from the gaming industry now, and it's getting a lot of gamers pumped up again that their gaming are going back to normal. That when a party forces their ideological policies on an area that should not be implemented, you're gonna get some problems. And that's why I'm saying this throughout this talk and discussion video, because what this diversity, equity, and inclusion stands for, you're not only forcing the workforce to be, in the race and for discriminating certain groups, but you're also forcing a diversity of rather the LGBs like theories and their way of their personal thoughts into the games that we play, and that can really impact a lot of gamers on forcing how much they start hating, like, why are we having this in our personal space? Why is this being implemented in an area that should not be implemented? Because ever since these groups saw that this thing was actually being implemented in games, they started invading the gamers' personal backyard. Like, they were just invading the backyard of a lot of gamers community and started trying to throw their ideological theories into our personal space. And how that turned out, it got a huge amount of backlash where people were against that. They were fighting back. They were saying, why do we need to learn this when we already have that in society? I just want to play a game. What the heck is going on here? It got thrown huge much of causing a completely ruckus and among the community of gamers, and then even the journalists attacking wasn't making it friendly enough, to the point where we just had enough. We had enough of this. We had enough of this equity, diversity, and inclusion, or it could be the other way around. That it got to the point where we wanted something that doesn't force the whatever this ology that was standing for, whether it's supporting the LGB, whether it's supporting the race, whether it's supporting some sort of sex orientation to different genders. We didn't want that to be forced in our gamers, especially our favorite games, to just be implemented into us playing it and saying this is the future. No, this is where a lot of gamers had stepped back for a bit and say, wait a minute, we're playing a game. We're not trying to learn another theory. This isn't a class. This is something that we're just trying to waste time in and relax and enjoy ourselves. And what leads to the party disaster when you throw this type of politics and force this type of policy inside a system with some sort of new law or some sort of new system, you're gonna see a huge amount of backlash that it shouldn't be in if you're forcing it in a wrong area. Now, the stores is a different story. When you're talking about stores for that, that's way different, and that's another like fighting battleground that's going on. But us as gamers, when you push it into the section where it shouldn't be, we had to fight back to push it out of our damn community and push these rhetoric activist groups out of invading our backyard. Like, we had to kick them out of our backyard. They're out of control. That's what led to the administration being changed, because you don't think politics invading a bad area matters. It does. And when they start going into the gaming industry where it should not be in, you don't think there's going to be resistance? There's going to be resistance, and forcing these companies to lose in sales, forcing these policies to demand changes, and forcing these individuals to get out of the community. And that's what ended up happening. Most of them, that now that the new administration has been changing a lot of this stuff, not saying that all their changes are good, this type of stuff cannot be continuing. This is the reason why it matters to not have politics in gaming, because that's how your party can end up losing if it's forcing to do something that it should be doing. It goes either way on both sides, whether it's a Republican Party, whether it's a Democrat Party, it goes either way. We shouldn't be forcing bad stuff into a area that shouldn't be implemented. That's why I prefer that they leave the game industry, the game community, and gaming itself neutral. This is why neutral is important. Because over the years, when the Democrats were running the states during the Obama administration, we had everything neutral. There was no impact of any of this stuff whatsoever going on in gaming. Everything was simple and fine. That everything was running smoothly because we never forced this ideologically diversity inside games that are even the popular ones that we don't want to see. That we want to see a great game, we want to see a great story. We don't need to be forcing this ideological theory inside the gaming thing that shouldn't be implemented. Now, if you're one of those individuals who want to like have that type of gaming stuff to be implemented, well, look what happened when someone did. It got shown with the example perfect one was Concord. What they tried to use their diversity, they tried to use their equity inside their vision within a gaming stuff to see if they can able, including the company, which is now probably probably gone by now. We don't know exactly what happened, but I think it was Baby Sync, something like that, where they try to force their diversity thing to be within part of gaming, and it got a huge amount of backlash. Huge amount of backlash because a lot of gamers did not enjoy it. They did not like this experience. They felt like the simple like betrayal that was going on between the gaming industry, to the point where they wanted a change. And then since this administration of the what you call the previous one from the Democrats in 2024 and under did not want to change this, and they were going to continue making it and forcing it upon this side that should not been happening in the first place, it led to the reason why they lost in the election. And this is just one of the many reasons why they lost the election. Because when you mess with something that shouldn't be messed with, you don't think the backlash will happen. It does, and it does hit hard when an election starts coming again. That most of these, I know, probably gamers probably did not vote, and I'm serious, most of them, not all of them, did not vote for an administration that was going to keep this DEI in place. And that's the point that I'm trying to say, why it's important that whatever party your side you're on, Democrat or Republican, keep the gaming industry, including gaming community, whatever it is in gaming, keep it away from politics. If they're not going to have any more backlash, we're not going to repeat history repeat itself, because it's only going to lead to disasters and lead to creating new laws that may end up forcing these parties to say enough is enough of messing with the wrong communities, because wasn't a community that should have been touched. It should have stayed neutral, regardless of how their ideas, what they want to place in. It just gets to a point where a lot of gamers come out and start, even YouTubers come out and speak about this matter at hand, that this is something that should never have happened. This is something that should never have been within the gaming industry. And that's the point that, I'm saying, because we go to the search bar, and let me show you right here. Over the years of 2024 and 2025, we've been seeing a huge amount of backlash of all these individuals demanding that they don't want anything to do with this system, all because the party who forced it upon this wrong side or wrong community, that led to the anger and the attempt of each and every of their policy to get enforced upon something they didn't want, that they just wanted to just play a game, not have their learn theories about within the game. And this is what happens when this whole administration that was for this can end up turning against them and the election. And this is exactly what happens when you do an enforcement on something that should not have been touched in the first place. It ruins your election, and it ruins your chance of having, well, the government for the other side, the opposing opponent, changes that policy. Many gamers and us are also thinking that if we are going to make it better for society, any policy whatsoever of politics to laws must keep gaming, unless if it's something serious, must keep gaming out of politics. And the reason for that is, if we do not listen to the people, especially gamers, who want to have their own private time, they want to have their own space, want to just take a break, you start messing in an area of their breakness, it's gonna lash out and turn your own voters, or the own people that you're rooting for, against you in the party. And this is the reason, main reason why it's important that politics have to stay out of gaming. They have to. Because again, if we're gonna, if any party is going to succeed, this has to be a matter that everyone must talk about to ensure that, politics cannot go through with these type of stuff, especially with DEI that's being rolled back now. And then it also was gonna create ruckus among Grand Theft Auto 6, but now that their change of the administration got their idea to maybe consider rolling back, and they end up doing it now. They end up rolling back and making the decision to take another year to reverse course, because they knew something was just not right with the whole decision that was going on in gaming. So much again has happened that a lot of individuals can agree that we as a community should not be involved in politics when it comes to gaming, because I already heard from one YouTuber that if this politics starts messing with the gaming, it gets their attention to know why is this happening and what's all the ruckus in government about, that's leading to them seeing atrocity stuff, maybe see something bad that they shouldn't be seeing, making them see why did the developers do something like this. And a perfect example of how bad it's gotten with this is when a favorite character of mine, one a beloved character, came from Ubisoft, and Ubisoft decided, you know what, this Square Enix, the character was so beautiful, let's turn her into a guy. And they completely ruined my beloved 2B character into turning into a male. I was devastated and crying how heartbroken I was, because of the fact that a policy like this that's being implemented and forced among gamers can have a huge impact into our gamers' lives. That's why it's very important. And here's an article I'm going to show right here. What's really failing inside the gaming industry and diversity efforts. This was published on March 29th of 2023. This is years back. They're seeing a doomed to fail right here, article right here. They're seeing that GameCon are doomed to fail because so many gamers really see right off the bat, really see right what exactly this is gonna present. They already see off the bat what this is gonna lead to. And many woke activists that were used to involved in this, to LGBT people, may look at this saying, oh, that's cool. But woke activists, who wanted to enforce this to try to get their systems spread across the entire gaming industry, they were doing this on purpose. Not the LGBT people, the woke activists that are a separate part of that group. That those are individuals who are trying to do something to this that completely messed up what was supposed to be the rights for all these LGBT people, and instead tried to indoctrinate. That was not supposed to be that message. The message was clear for their rights and equality, not doctrinate to immerse their theory into individuals who just want to, relax, enjoy a game. And so, looking at this article here, you can tell that people already knew how in danger this will cause, and the backlash that soon end up messing up the election for them, because they decided that this was the right step into the future of gaming. And this really, I gotta say, this had not a good outcome in the end, and only push more further into their failure within the government, because they decided to go with something like this. That's the why it's important that if we're going to do better in ourselves, we're going to do better for our community and everything that we stand for within the gaming, we have to keep it out of politics. It is the only way that whatever party you're in does not get involved in something that should not be a part of. Unless we're doing trade, like, maybe doing trades from other countries that involve that kind of stuff, we shouldn't have any politics or whatsoever within the gaming industry to gaming community. In that, I make this message, I make this video very clear that we need to keep gaming neutral as possible to prevent history from repeating itself. And I hope that rather independent or the GOP can make that message clear that this politics has to stop in gaming. We cannot be doxinating kids, and we cannot be forcing rhetoric stuff on areas that don't want our attention or don't want the attention within gamers. Because once you start messing with the community that don't want that attention, you can get them really heated up and mad. And I think that's exactly why more numbers have decreased for the Democrat Party, because they decided to go with this approach. And when I say about wanting that attention, mean that we don't want an attention to learn this type of stuff within an area that's not meant for that. There is other ways to learn about this stuff, but this ain't it. This within gaming ain't it. And let's hope that we can make a penitentiary in change.org to force government not to get involved in our gaming industry and keep it neutral as possible. It is better for society, and it's to ensure no one can be forced to learn stuff in a wrong place that's meant to keep a safe space or safe bound, to give us a break from all this drama, to all this stuff that involve government, that we just want to relax, to keep it out of that area of relaxation and peace. Because the moment that it interferes with that, we get a problem. So hopefully this talking discussion clears out everything that I needed to discuss here. I don't know what else I'll be saying, but I hope those who watch this will understand why it's important that we need to move forward and keep it out within this side of the gaming thing, because only it's gonna bring is more harm to the party, whatever party it is, than good. So that's about it for this talking discussion. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you on another episode from your Zero Power Jimmy Pablo. Bye bye.